All right. All right, Jerry, thanks a lot. And Coach, 42-14 over UCLA. 14-14 at halftime, but boy, I'll tell you what, your defense, who played good in the first half, lights out in the second half.
They were awesome, you know, and this team is incredible. You know, the guys, we knew UCLA was good, and they lived up to it. That's a fantastic team. They're very well coached in every phase, and it was just back and forth, man. It was a heavyweight fight of you know, a big play for us on special teams, a big play for them on special teams, back and forth there, especially the first half. Both defenses kind of got the better of it, and our guys just kept playing. And the second half was just a total team effort. You know, every single guy contributed to this. Our scout team, I think the MVP of this game, the unsung MVP of this game is T.J. Daniel, our scout team outside linebacker that simulated Anthony Barr last week. That guy made us better, and just, you know, obviously very pleased with where we are, and onward and upward.
Thought what was most impressive, and you mentioned it, your team just stayed with it, the resolve, because at times their own worst enemy in the first half made, you know, some costly mistakes, short field for the UCLA offense to operate under, and yet they just stayed with it and overcame those mistakes.
Exactly, and that's what we talked about at halftime. I said, this is a real complicated formula. Do your job great, and that's it. You know, and our guys responded exactly kind of how we thought they would, and that was, you know, obviously a bunch of people were questioning whether we could play 4 quarters, and that's a good football team. Really good football team.
Let's talk about the defense, second half in particular. Shutout in the second half. You outscore UCLA 28-0. Hold UCLA to 94 total yards there in that second half. 3 of 9 third downs. You can go on and go on. The takeaways, the interceptions, the set up touchdowns. Your defense was just tremendous.
Outstanding. Again, you know, and it wasn't like one guy was locking somebody up either. It was, you know, a little bit of pressure got to him and then created a turnover, or a guy made a great break on the ball in space. And so again, the front helped the back end helped the front, and the linebackers kept running.
And other than Brett Hundley's one scramble, and again in the pocket, and just made unbelievable moves to be able to get it done, you didn't give up big plays on defense, no explosion plays. Hundley ends up 13 of 19, only 64 yards. You pick him off twice. But again, it's one of those ones where the lack of explosion plays, your defense just kept everything in front of them.
Exactly, and that's our formula. You know, we're going to pick and choose our pressures and try to confound and confuse and do the things we do. And Nick and his staff did an incredible job, and our guys just kept playing. You know, like you said at halftime, I think we were real close to creating a lot of plays in the first half, and they became realities in the second half.
Your offense took over in the second half as well, particularly in that fourth quarter, the offensive line where you were able to run the ball, principally run the ball, but just physically began to wear them down.
Yeah, we tried to just kind of challenge them. We got a little tempo going. We couldn't get in a rhythm there for a while, and part of that again is due to them and their defense, and part of that was just stuff we were a half step away, or a finish away, or a cut away, and we just tried to hammer our guys about a one-cut game. You know, just Brian Marshall did a great job, Thomas did a great job as the game wore on, of just making one cut and getting vertical, and you know, making a 4-yard run, a 12, 15, 20-yard run.
And balance certainly helps out again. 325 rush, 230 pass. Marcus was 10 of 10 in the second half. Efficient when there was a lot of pressure. So again, I think to sum it up, your team did what they needed to do in the second half based on what you talked about, and that's just to overcome it and be sharp.
Yeah. In a nutshell, yeah. You know, again, in the first half, we just had a couple things here and there, a couple routes that we'd like to have back, a couple throws that we'd like to have back, but we finished exactly how we want to finish, and that's all that matters.
Fake punt was a big play too.
That was awesome. You know, it was awesome. We were kind of whispering back and forth like, it's there, and I'm trying to do my best poker face and walk away, and you know, I thought Rodney did an incredible job getting as many yards as he did, and of course the guys on the sideline are giving him a hard time that he didn't score, and that'll, you know, you never get tackled by a returner, that's always a bad thing, but it's not like getting tackled by a kicker or anything.
Well, you get a chance to enjoy this one, but it doesn't get any easier. It only gets tougher going on the road. Stanford in a week and a half. You get a chance to enjoy this one, but the challenge is ahead of you again.
Absolutely, and we're going to use this week to get healthier, to get better, to improve, get a bunch of work for our young guys, and Coach Rowdy will kind of build them back up, and our guys will be ready for that next one.
All right. Well, you get to enjoy this game, and obviously a happy birthday present from your team for this. You're freaking 39 years old for the 4th time in a row. So happy early birthday to you.
What is it? I'm officially a Mike Gundy, right? I'm officially a man, I guess. Got the hair like an 82-year-old, but yeah, that's not good. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah. Well, it's just getting you back for last week anyway. So congratulations, Coach.
Thanks a lot, Jordan.
All right, Jerry, back up to you.
Questions for Coach? Right over here.
Anthony's role as the game kind of went on, what was the mindset as far as, was it just that Byron looked better tonight?
Who pitched tonight for Boston?
It's still going on.
Okay.
Humble and Patterson back here.
That's about the same answer as always.
Question? Here. Right here, John.
That was my answer. See, I got the same amount of information that he did.
Mark, you alluded to it. It was such a defensive battle. We're going back and forth, big plays on both sides. Do you almost feel like in the second half that, hey, if we get one score ahead of these guys, the way our defense is playing, we're good to go. 1 score or 2 scores.
We prefer more, but I thought our defense was playing great, and I thought we were. That's why we punted there in a couple situations that were marginal. I thought our defense was playing better than or kind of over the top in terms of we were closer on offense on our side than kind of they were on their side in my judgment. And I thought our guys would endure. I just believe a lot in our guys and this football team, and just kept playing.
You've been in a bunch of games where it hasn't been a game at halftime. What was it like to be in there 14-14? They're getting the ball in the second half.
It was awesome. It was awesome. When you can look those guys in the eye, and our guys were more excited for the second half kickoff than they were for the first half kickoff. And that's when you got the right group of guys, because it's there's a little anxiety in the stands, a little anxiety of like, wait a second, it's not 72-3, what's wrong? There was none of that with the guys with the helmets on, and that those are the guys that matter.
In the back, Warren.
Mark, back here. Take us through the fake punt. Obviously deep in your own territory. Take us through that thought process of doing that. Was there something you saw on film that you thought you could get that converted?
Definitely. Coach Oz did a great job all week, and our guys did a great job of executing it, and that's what it's all about. If you can, you have confidence in it in practice. If it's on the 7-yard line, it's on the 7-yard line. If it's there, execute it. And that we went into the game, and Oz kind of asked me beforehand, hey, what if this and what if that, and we're going. And again, we believe so much in our guys because of demonstrated preparation that we have a ton of confidence in them, and that was something that basically wherever the ball was, we were rolling.
In the back, far side.
Went over a top 15 program. How do you think that plays into the BCS coming out?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea. No, I that's my comment. I have no idea. It's literally comical to me how many what if this and him and the other girl meet and they play this other team. We have no control over that. We controlled this outcome, as best as we possibly could, and we're really proud of that. And now we're going to get ready for another really good team.
Middle.
Hi, Coach. Can you talk a little bit about your impressions of Marcus's play tonight?
I thought Marcus was, he had a couple gimmies early that we had a couple drops, missed a couple throws, but that guy's a stud. I mean, he just, again, kind of willed this team offensively, really challenged the offensive line. I thought our offensive line got stronger as the game went on, and part of that was him. A bunch of that was him.
Warren in the back again.
Mark, defensively, you held UCLA scoreless in that second half. That is a pretty impressive effort. Could you maybe talk about your defense in the second half?
Absolutely. I mean, they were awesome. I thought we did a great job of believing in the system. And there's a lot of teams that when there's that anxious feeling of they start looking around, well, I better jump a route or I better do somebody else's job. And that was our message at halftime. We had a couple guys early on when they had some big plays, whether it was the quarterback kind of zone reads and some different read game things. We had the guy that was responsible for the back tackling the quarterback and the guy that was responsible for the quarterback tackling the quarterback. That's not good. And that's, again, what we just hammered home is just do your job. do your job great, play with maximum strain, and everything will work out.
Down here in the front.
They were very physical with you. At what point did you feel like you answered that? It looked early on like they were throwing you around a little bit.
I don't know. The final score. I don't know. I thought our guys. When you watch these guys on film, that's a very talented team. We know a lot of those guys kind of from recruiting back and forth, and the crossover. We have a lot of knowledge of those guys, and there's a bunch of talented guys on that team. And I think our guys can match that.
Right here.
Field goal unit or field goal kicking, obviously. Maldonado missing that field goal. Is there enough of a body of work for you to make a decision going forward, or is it something?
There's not. I would have gone with Maldonado again in a heartbeat if we had to do it over again, just because he's been practicing great. Not that Matt hasn't, but he's been practicing great, and we talked about it in that situation and went with him, and I'd do it again.
Any more questions? Back here in the back. Wait for the microphone, please.
Hey, Mark, how about your running game? What did you think of it tonight?
I thought, especially towards the end of the game, we kind of, got after a little bit up front. I don't know what we ended up with. 325, Again, that's, I guess, a disappointment, or I can't tell by your tone of voice, but, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic, but I thought our guys really got after it as the game went on. I think, again, we kind of endured and got stronger as the game went on, which was that's what you want. We want to finish.
Warren again.
Warren's on fire.
Got a lot of questions.
Coach, Miles Jack, Anthony Barr, your impressions now that you've seen them up close?
I don't like them very much. No, those guys, I talked to them both right after. Those guys are phenomenal players. I told Miles Jack I'm going to officially change the rule for the NFL for him to come out early. That guy's he's just a giant muscle, and he can run and cover, and very physical player. And Anthony Barr is as advertised, no question.
Anyone else? Right here.
Hey, Coach. Byron Marshall coming in, taking the load. Seems like he's been doing great. Kind of continued at this game. What did you think about it?
I thought, again, a guy that really accepted a couple challenges as the game went on. He had a little bit of kind of too many feely runs. He was kind of tiptoeing through there and trying to make every play a touchdown. And we just talked to him about one cut, hit it, and then a 4-yard run became a 12-yard run running through an arm tackle, and then he broke a couple. And again, a great effort by him. Thomas came in and spelled him really well, and we really like all our backs.
Right here, second in the middle.
Mark, this because of the offense at Oregon the last few years and the pace and the points and the yards, the defense hasn't gotten a lot of respect nationally. What is this defense showing this year?
That guys from ESPN should come around and cover our defense more often. No, they played phenomenally well. You can't, again, 219 yards, is that what it was total? Hang on, 283 yards, and really one explosive play that we'll live with that all day. And I think, again, it's not, we don't have the, Deion Jordan name, maybe, or the guy, the Kiko Alonso, now the legend of Kiko Alonso, the name that everybody knows, but there's about 22 guys playing their tails off, and we love every single one of them.
Over here, far side.
You mentioned after the Washington game that Thomas Tynan grew up a lot that week, and he continued to have a good week last week and this week. What's kind of next for him at this point in his career?
Just playing, and that's a guy that he just, backs are different, and he's one of those guys that needs to kind of do it, and then he's confident. And there's a lot of stuff that you have to kind of check off your list as a tailback, whether it's protections or just situational stuff where he did a great job against Washington, staying in bounds in a 4-minute drill, just stuff like that comes up. Tonight he did a great job of just cramming up in there and getting 3 yards and milking the clock. And so he just needs to keep checking those things off his list and playing with confidence, because he's got a ton of talent, and he's a great worker, he's a great learner, and he just needs to trust it.
Aliotti's talking about your defense. He calls it a car. He says Frost is driving. Frost says no, he's the GPS. What's the defense to you when you look over that defensive unit?
Is this like one of those games? Is like a fruit cocktail? I don't know. Something good and mean. I don't know what it is.